I wanted to talk a little bit about the Ben Franklin close. Now you might be thinking, what the heck is a Ben Franklin close? It's a sales tool that is used a lot of times on people for salesmen try to close a sale with somebody. Basically what they do is they'll take a sheet of paper and draw a line down the middle and list the pros of doing an action on one side and the cons on the other, and then they'll have you look at the list and they'll have you help them write up the list. So you're talking yourself into something or out of something, and an example might be, and this is a direct sales pitch, I'll tell you, because I use this sometimes with my USANA business, is that I'll say to somebody, what are you looking to get out of a side business? And they'll say, money. Of course, what else would you get into a side business for? And I'll say, okay, well, how much money would you like to make? And they'll say, I'd like to make $10,000 extra a year part-time. And I'll say, okay, well, that's a good goal. We'll put that on one side of the chart, make $10,000. What are you willing to do to make that money? And they'll say, well, I'm willing to put in 2 hours a week. And so I'll put that on the negative side. This is taking time away from their life. 2 hours a week, that's about, we'll say 100 hours a year, because they're not going to do it every $1,000 for 100 hours worth of work. And doing the math, it's about $100 an hour they're expecting to get. So what do they get now for their job? What are you making now? Well, I'm making $15 an hour. Okay, are you willing to work, 7 times harder so you're making $100 an hour during those 2 hours that you're putting into this side business? No, I'm not willing to do that. Okay, can we look for a goal that's going to be a little bit more reasonable maybe? Let's say you want to make $5,000 a year. Are you willing to work 2 hours a day, or 2 hours a week, sorry for that? And they'll say, yeah, I'm willing to do that. Are you willing to work hard? Yeah. Okay, so 5,000, and we're looking at 2 hours a week, which is, again, say 100 hours. It's only $50 an hour they're making, but it's a reasonable goal. And I'll say, okay, if you can do this, the first year, you stop working after the first year, just for an example, and you continue to make this $5,000 a year, because this is residual type income. This is a plus. On the negative side for the second year, there is no negative really, because the business is there just making money for them. Now, a lot of businesses, a lot of MLM businesses, network marketing businesses, if you stop working your business, that money goes away. In USANA, that doesn't work like that. So basically the second year, say you put in 10 hours instead of 100, those 10 hours are worth $500 for each hour. And if you're just building your business, adding one person, 2 people a year, it's reasonable to think that you can make $100 a week. And if you continue to do that year after year, continuing to add a couple people a year, eventually you're going to be making $1,000 a week, which is, $52,000 a year. Reasonable enough. So how does this apply to your health and your life, really? Because this one is about life balance, not just about health. You can take this same Ben Franklin approach to anything you're doing. Now, I hope I didn't lose too many people with the USANA thing. Although I'm in the business to make money with USANA, that's not the purpose of this video especially, although, maybe I'll get some people who ask me more questions about it. I'm certainly willing to answer them. What I'm saying is, anything you're doing in your life, it doesn't have to be something new or something that somebody's trying to sell you. You can take this same Ben Franklin approach. Now, what makes this a little unique, at least for me, is that kind of twofold. Now, I'm in sales. Everybody's in sales. Every part of your life you're selling. If you're asking your wife if you can go bowling Saturday night, you're selling that idea to her. What's the pros and cons? Using a Ben Franklin sale, perhaps. If you are looking at your life thinking, why am I doing this activity? Why am I going to the gym every week? And you can look at the pros and cons. Somebody may have talked you into going to the gym, for your own good. Now, are you reaping benefits from that? Now, what are the cons? You're taking time out of your life, but you're also adding time to your life, because the average person who goes to the gym on a regular basis adds like 5 years to your life. You don't have to believe me. You can look up facts. If you go into like the federal health, you go into I should have the website right off the top, but Health and Human Services, or you go into any of these federal agencies that have to do with health, wellness, fitness, and you can find these facts. You could add, 5 years to your life by just exercising regularly. Well, what difference is that going to make? The thing is that, you can reduce your blood pressure, you can improve your cholesterol level, your cardiovascular health, your muscle, your ability to move and function in a very positive way. And all those things need to be listed. You look at what you're putting into it, look at the negatives. Time away from your family now turns around to be time that's added. My dad died early, never got to see my kids, never got to see me be married. Would I have liked him to be in better shape? Could he have taken this Ben Franklin sales approach and applied it to things in his life he was doing, like drinking too much or smoking too much or not exercising, not taking care of his body, and been around to be here for my kids, my grandkids, my marriage and my life, and to share parts of that, which, I miss him. And I wish he would have taken this Ben Franklin approach and weighed the pros and cons. You need to look at a lot of things in your life, perhaps, that you're doing that aren't getting you anywhere. Pros for watching TV. You might get some entertainment out of it. What else are you getting out of it? Not a whole lot. You're losing time that you could be spending with your family. Maybe some of that TV time is with your family, but not all of it. Time check. 8 minutes and 14 seconds. Okay, so how many people have I lost to this point? I don't know. But this is important stuff. And the thing coming from my point of view is I am involved in sales as a profession. I do it at work. I am a trainer and I train people, but I also sell training to people. I am a black belt in variation reduction, which means that I look at things analytically. Black belt is a person who's trained to reduce variation in a process, which is also somebody who looks at how things are done and how you can improve them. It's a very analytical, mathematical, statistical sort of training, which is strange for somebody who has a degree in psychology like I do. So I kind of have the mental aspect covered, the statistical aspect covered, and also the sales aspect covered. And I can say you can use this Ben Franklin sales technique at any point and to apply to anything in your life to see, does it bring you more pros or more cons? Look at your marriage. If you're having trouble with it, does your spouse bring you more pros or more cons? Look at your work. Is it bringing you more pros or more cons? Are there things you could be doing that are better use of your time? Weighing the pros and cons. It's just putting things on a scale. But a lot of times if you take a sheet of paper, draw a line down the middle of it, and write things down, things come into clarity, because we end up married to things that, psychologically at the time it might have seemed like a good idea, not the greatest idea, but as you do things over and over again, you become more and more entrenched in them, more married to the idea that you made a good choice. But if you take a Ben Franklin approach to it and write down the pros and cons, you might realize mentally you're attached to an idea that really isn't the best idea for you. It might not be a good fit for your life. So it's just something to think about with the total life balance and see if it works for you. If you have any questions on the Ben Franklin sale, let me know and I'd be happy to answer them. Have a great day. This is Rob with the All Health Network. See ya.